welcome to This Day, everybody. It is Saturday, January 17th. You knew it was Saturday. I'm sitting right here at the desk. I'm Michael Taylor. Glad to be here with you today. Now, are you sitting down? You can prepare yourself. We've got a good show for you. It is a treasure-filled show today, and we've got a great one. I'm glad you're sitting and being prepared for this. We got the Gold Standard Company, Ford Swift's going to be here. Do you have treasures in your house? Do you have some old hand-me-downs, things that came from your mother or grandparents or whatever it might be, some things you may not know, or maybe a shifty uncle that said, it's a real Rolex. Well, we're going to have Ford on the program. He's going to be talking about his business of assessing and evaluating those things for you, getting a great price for you, sometimes buying it, sometimes doing it on a consignment. So if you have some treasures in your home that you want to get assessed, Ford's the guy to talk to about that. He'll be talking to us about that a little later. And then Comedy Gold with Phil Chait. He's got a comedy show coming up next week with an outside performance coming in. It's really going to be a good one. You're going to want to hear about this one. So Comedy Club a little later in the program. Right now, though, we want to keep you informed and stay informed with some commercial design updates that Laguna Woods, not the village, but Laguna Woods, the city, is developing. And they are hoping that you might be giving them some input on the new design standards and guide them in future construction and renovations of commercial properties. No project that specifically says this. They're just going to be updating all of the things they do there, and they want these new standards to have input from you as the residents here in Laguna Woods. So if you want to be part of that, it's going to be on Monday, January 25th from 10:30 a.m. to noon in Laguna Woods City Hall. If you do want to attend, if you do want to hear about it or maybe even have some input, some ideas for yourself, residents who want to attend, they can RSVP by Friday, January 23rd at 5 p.m. There's the information on your screen to make sure you can do that and attend the update in the commercial design plans and regulations and all that stuff for the city. All right, let's take a quick check of our weather forecast. And we got nice temperatures for today and the rest of the week and into next week. 75 today is going to be the highest, and then we start to taper off a little bit. The marine influence is coming back strong, and we're going to have a little bit more coastal. So we're going to see some partly cloudy skies in the mornings. That'll usually burn off to a little mostly sunny or a little partly cloudy in the afternoon. But nice temperatures for the rest of the weekend and into next week. Very good. Sunrise, sunset, we got a beautiful shot here for you. Look at this. Cynthia Case, who was on the show earlier this week, she always sends the greatest pictures. She has this beautiful bird here. Sunrise this morning was 6:54. Sunset tonight is 5:07. And that bird's called a hermit thrush. There you go. She's a birder. She knows her stuff. You don't have to be a birder to send us pictures, though. We love to see pictures from anywhere and all sorts of things. Vacation spots, your pets, places around Laguna Woods that you think are just a nice shot, send them to us. We'd love to see it. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be welcoming Ford Swift from Gold Standard Company. Stay with us.
The Laguna Woods History Center, the only purpose-built local history archive in Orange County, has been capturing the legacy of our community since 1977. As a nonprofit dedicated to preserving today for tomorrow, we collect, conserve, and share the history of Laguna Woods Village, the city of Laguna Woods, and the surrounding Orange County region. Step into the past and connect with the present at your community archive. Whether you're curious about local milestones, searching for historical documents, or exploring treasured artifacts, the History Center is your gateway to the stories that shape Laguna Woods. The Laguna Woods History Center is a separate building adjacent to the Village Library. We are open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or by appointment. Visit us and find your place in history.
Hi, my name is Ford. I'm a graduate gemologist and the founder here at Gold Standard. I've been in the jewelry and watch trade for over 30 years. Bring me your jewelry, watches, coins, even sterling silver flatware. I buy it all. Any item, big or small, you never know what you have in your jewelry box. Schedule a private appointment, bring me your items, and let me tell you what they're really worth. Never will you feel pressured. I treat all of my clients like their family. Gold Standard Company, by appointment only, here in Laguna Hills.
From the Gold Standard Company, we want to welcome first time to the show, Ford. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what the Gold Standard Company is all about. It's a number of things. You're not just buying gold out there.
No. We buy a lot of things. We buy silver, we buy coins, we buy gold, jewelry, estate pieces, watches.
We got a kind of nice sampling
watches
out here of all the things you guys are do and have been part of. So you kind of were born into this business. This is kind of a family affair, right?
Yes. So my dad was a vintage watch dealer, and so I grew up in the business and going to the jewelry mart with him and going to watch shows. And I always kind of like loved the jewelry part of it, but I really, really loved the intricacies of vintage watches.
Right, and you wear one, and you actually have some expertise in vintage watches, right?
Yeah, I was the senior watch valuation specialist for the Real for 4 years.
Wow.
But I'm considered one of the best authenticators, probably one of them in the country for vintage watches.
Okay, so when people come to your store, or you actually do house calls as well, we'll get to that in a second. But when people come to your store, what are they usually doing? Are they usually kind of trying to sell something? Hey, I have this grandma's hand-me-down ring, or some necklace, and those kinds of things.
Well, that's a great question, because a lot of times it starts off as an appraisal, and then they find out what it's worth. And then they're like, okay, well, can you sell it? And I was like, yeah, of course I can sell it. Or if they decide that I can pay them cash or check on the spot.
Okay, so you'll do consignment stuff, and you'll also do just buy it off, and then you'll sell it, or if it's just silver, you'll resell it in the market and that kind of thing.
Correct.
Right.
But if it's something special like this piece here, like these two pieces here, which came from Connie Stevens' estate.
Oh wow.
She gave them to me to sell them on consignment for her, because I know that I'll get much better money if I can show it around to a bunch of different customers, and rather than like paying her out and trying to like.
So when you do an appraisal, I mean, you have some sophisticated equipment here to kind of figure out, okay, hey, yeah, Grandpa told me this was real, but you're going to take a quick check. What is this? What is this little radar gun here?
So this is an XRF machine. This is like the best technology out there right now for testing metals, gold. I can even test if a Rolex bracelet is real or not, because they put a special alloy into their bracelets.
Okay.
So it's immediately, I can tell yes or no, but I can usually tell just by feeling it.
And you don't have to like scratch it or cut into it. You just kind of shine
lay
it
it right on there. No, there's
Wow.
no damage to the piece. I wouldn't have to scratch this.
Right.
This old school style of.
Right, because that's the old way. I remember when they used to test, like, is this gold, is this silver? You had to do the acid test, right?
Correct.
That's an old kind of box that you have.
It's old school. They still use it, but like this is definitely next level technology.
And it can go through the whole thing, so you can see solid all the way through.
It'll go into penetrate a level of it.
I imagine there's stories where people said, "Oh, I was told this was this," and you kind of say, "You have to break bad news sometimes."
Oh my gosh, more than good news. Like, unfortunately, I mean, yes, it happens, and it's unfortunate. Like, I had a guy yesterday come in and say, I bought this in Dubai. It was $8,000. And I was like, it's not a real Cartier. There's no way.
Right.
So unfortunately, yes, I do have to be the bearer of bad news.
But sometimes I imagine the opposite. People say, "I'm not sure if this is worth anything," and you kind of go, "Oh."
Well, my favorite thing is when these people bring in like these jewelry boxes full of stuff.
Their treasure box.
They're like, "We don't know what's in here," and then I kind of go through and I pull out and I'm like, well, this is a diamond ring, or this is real, or this is like a $1,500 gold, necklace that you had no idea was even in there.
Right. And can you identify the makers on those? They stamp these things, right? Like 14 karat gold, and I mean sometimes you can't believe that, but you can authenticate what it is and its origin from that, right?
Sometimes yes, but it's always best to check it with the machine. But I've been doing this a long time. I'm going to be 53 on Saturday, so like I've seen a lot of things come and go, and being a master gemologist from the GIA. I have the tools in my brain as well as having the other tools to back me up.
So tell me about a watch like this. Somebody walks in and they say what to you? Give me the story of this watch.
They would just, this watch in particular came from a client of mine who's been a longtime client. I've actually known her for over 20 years. We've done a lot of business together. She bought it, and she gave it to a boyfriend and wants to get rid of it now. So she's having me sell it for her, and most of my pricing is below wholesale.
Okay.
But I try to also get the client the most amount of money for it, rather than giving them like lowball offers.
Yeah, without it sitting for 2 or 3 years.
Correct.
Because you're asking for the ultimate price, right?
Yeah, I like to either pay them out immediately, or if they give it to me on consignment, I want to be able to move it.
And so when you go through, how long you've been doing this in Orange County for how long? You've just got here, right?
Yeah, well, I grew up here.
Okay.
My parents had a place here in Laguna.
Okay.
And about 4 years
Did you go
ago,
to Laguna High School?
I didn't. No, younger than that. I was like a young child, like until I was about 10.
Okay.
And so we had a tutor that we traveled with. But anyway, I had to move back to Michigan because I had to have a bone marrow transplant.
Oh, wow.
And after that, it kind of changed my whole philosophy of what I wanted to do with my life. So I went to an appointment-only office in the most beautiful place in the country, and I kind of work like that. So I can kind of make my own hours and run and do meet people, meet clients at their homes or whatever if I need to.
Yeah, and you're doing well. You're back here. You're healthy. And
Yeah,
you opened up a new shop.
Completely.
And so, and you're happy. This is the place to be.
Oh, I'm happier than I've ever been.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Some people in this community aren't as mobile as they used to be. Can't get out, and they have a little trouble with that. Do you do house calls?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Just all you have to do is call the number, and I can set up an appointment with you. I'm very flexible, easy to work with.
And when you go through someone's box of treasures and all those kinds of things, how do you kind of figure out, okay, here's how I'm going to separate the stuff from what I would sell. This is costume jewelry. How long is the process?
The best thing is just transparency. When I'm going through it all, it's kind of funny that people will be talking to me, and I said, look, there's a method to my madness. I separate it into little piles, and then I do jewelry, gold with diamonds, gold with just plain gold, scrap gold, things I can sell, whatever. And then I price it accordingly, and then tell them, this is what I'm going to do for this is what I can do for this is what I can do for this. And if you want to give me this, I can probably get you a little bit more money for it. So I work very differently than your typical pawn shop or gold buyer business.
Okay. What do you love about this? I mean, you grew up doing this. You obviously have continued to do it, but there's got to be something that you say that just kind of gets you kind of excited, or you just love, right?
Every day is a treasure hunt. I love that every day is different. Every day something unique happens, it seems like. And, it's a lot of people that are born into their family businesses are born into them, and they're just like, I just have to do this because it's a successful business. I loved it.
Yeah, it sounds like you fell in love with it at a very young age, right?
And I didn't go into I did the family trait, but I started my own business when I was like 16. I went off on my own. I sold my first 3-carat diamond when I was 12 years old.
Was it in your lunchbox? You brought it to a student?
No, I knew the dealers, and I got one of my friends' moms wanted to upgrade her diamond, and it was just like, okay, here, well, let me do it.
You're a poor guy. Ford is a very good trader in the classroom.
I wasn't passing notes, I was passing diamonds.
A jewel heist going on here. Well, there's some amazing stuff here. Tell me, what's the most interesting, one of the most interesting pieces that's ever walked into your store or walked into your life?
Great question. I worked for a road buying company, kind of like an Antiques Roadshow type thing. And a watch came in. They just thought it was broken parts, whatnot. But it was a Rolex. And nobody would have known this, but I knew that watch, it looked like it had been drugged behind a train.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was all broken. There were pieces. It was just like, anyway, it was bad. But when I saw it, I had actually never even seen this watch before. It was a Rolex GMT, but it had red writing it's a GMT in red. And so I knew something was really unique about this because they only usually do that on Submariners.
Okay.
So I did a little research, and I found out that there were only 10 of these made, and they were the original 10 that were made by Rolex for Pan Am to try and test the GMT, which is one of their best-selling watches now. So this was one of the originals. There was only 10 of them made in the world, and there was only one known in all of. There was only one that existed, and I had the second one in my hand.
Wow, that's a treasure hunt to tell people about. That's amazing.
So we ended up, this person that brought in a bunch of garbage, we were able to pay them $75,000.
That's amazing. All right, folks, you may have those treasures, that treasure story for the next one for Ford to tell in the future, and he's going to be here in the community. It's Gold Standard Company, the website and phone number up on the screen now. Ford, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
There's been a huge amount of progress in all areas of cancer research generally over the last 20, 30 years. Unbelievable progress. Still not there. Still lots to do. No matter what cancer you have, we're working on it at Hoag. It's not a pie in the sky hub. It's a real hub. I'm still right there in the trenches as a treating oncologist and as a cancer scientist as well. I want to be part of conquering cancer.
Time for a good laugh for the new year, and to do that, we're going to welcoming Phil Chait from the Comedy Club. Thanks for joining us, Phil.
How are you?
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Tell folks what the Comedy Club is all about. There's all sorts of clubs here for all sorts of things, but you guys have one that's just about the giggles.
Yeah, we're the funniest one. Yeah, our club only concentrates on comedy. We don't do dances, we don't do bands, we just do comedy.
Okay.
And we had a really good year last year, so like a lot of clubs have been raising their dues because obviously costs. We've actually kept ours the same.
Oh, that's great.
So this year, the admission to the show is only $10, and you get coffee, cake, and an hour and a half of very great laughs. And many people come up to me after the shows and just say how much fun they had or whatever else. So we wanted to make sure everyone could still come and afford to do without having to think about it. So we kept it the same.
That's
We're bringing a lot of the same people back from last year that were successful with some new faces just to break it up a little bit. But yeah, it's about an hour and a half show. People come at 5:30, bring their dinners, talk to friends, schmooze, socialize, and the show starts at 7, and then we go from there.
Yeah, and you usually you kind of do the host of the mic
yeah,
part, right?
I get to do the first 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
And, I still haven't run out of my wife jokes yet, but I'll learn one of these days. And she still talks to me, so I'm all right. But anyway, yeah, so I start off the first 10, 15 minutes, and then go from there.
And then you bring in comedians from outside who kind of do regular tour, local clubs.
Yeah,
these are
all named comedians, right? They appear in the Improv, and the Laugh Factory, and the Hollywood Show, all these big joints, and then they come. And actually, they love coming down here because the clubs usually only have a size of maybe 150, 200 people. We can fit 500 people in.
Right.
So we give them a much bigger audience. And Fritz Coleman, as an example, is a big draw for us. He came last year, we drove up like 500 people. And he called me up after the show and said, I want to come back twice next year. Because he enjoyed trust me, I'm not paying him a fortune. But he really enjoyed the audience and getting in with it. So people like coming down here.
That's terrific. Yeah, Fritz is great. I actually saw him at an event I was at, and he hosted and emceed the thing, and he's just laying out the jokes the whole night. He's a really funny guy.
And he's a nice guy too. So so he's going to be here twice. But yeah, so it's a good time.
But for the next one you have coming up on January 22nd, it's going to be Brian Shield.
Yeah, he's been here a few times over the years. Yeah, that's him right there. He's a very funny guy. He does stand up, but then he goes into the crowd. He does improv. He does singing. He does a little bit of everything.
Okay.
But the crowd here loves when a comedian goes in there and starts going after them. Because they all like to, they get attacked. So that's the kind of comedian he is. But he does the whole show. Some shows we do 2 comedians. He does the whole show by himself, so he'll do like an hour plus show.
Okay, there you go. That's fun. And a lot of times, comedians they change they're doing new jokes, so it's not the same show. If you're seeing like a throwback to the Doobie Brothers band, you're going to see the same songs as last year, kind of thing. But they come up with new stuff all the time.
They do have new sets. It's so I always tell people, I say, tell me any joke that you remember from last year that he told, and the answer is. They just know that comedians going to be the same stuff.
Right.
I mean, even on myself, I tell some of my repeat jokes after a few months, and they don't remember when I said it to them. So, but anyway, he does know he has to change his set, and all these guys do different stuff. I mean, they always reinvent everything, so they come up with new stuff.
Were you one of the founders of the comedy club, or you just kind of take over as you went?
I just took over about a year or so ago. Joey Sims and a couple other people were the founders of the company, but ran the club, I should say. But yeah, I've only been there for a little over a year.
And what did you did you ever do stand-up before you kind of
way
did this
back
stuff?
in college.
Okay.
But showing my age, back then is when Saturday Night Live was starting, and you had Eddie Murphy and all those guys, and I said, I'm not going to try to. That's not my league. So I went to computer sales instead. But I did it a little while. So I mean, I don't get stage fright. So I mean, I'm good doing that. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that so much. So it's a lot of fun.
What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy the writing process? Do you enjoy the actually delivering and see how it lands?
Well, I enjoy hearing the laughs. I mean, I'm not a comedy writer. I mean, it's some things I've written, but the majority of it I just pull from different sources. The only thing I do is I gear it towards Laguna Woods. Like I say, a young couple. I say older couple. So I try to gear it towards the people here. But I mean, I don't write a lot of stuff, but I just go all over the place and gather what I think is funny. And when people laugh, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, and was it strange to you? Like sometimes you'll tell the same joke at a maybe different show, and it lands, and sometimes it doesn't. It's a weird kind of feeling, right, in terms of how the audience is feeling.
Well, lucky for us, we usually have the same audience. I mean, we have pretty much a standard group of people that come. Plus, I mean, and our attendance increased last year. I think we ended up having like almost 350 people a show, which is pretty good attendance. So yeah, but they seem to enjoy everything. As I said, they're into it. They're very into it audience. So it's a great time.
Yeah. Now I know you say you bring some folks back, but do you go out and watch shows? Do you find guys online? What's your process in finding these comedians?
I just go to the various comedy venues up there. Plus, I've now met a lot of comedians from the LA area who know a lot of comedians, and it's some big names too. So I mean, it's the same. So I go up there, they introduce me to other people, and it's amazing how many calls I get of people wanting to play down here.
I was going to ask, just what I was going to ask you. Are you starting to get known out there enough that people are saying, hey, let's call Phil?
I've gotten quite a few calls of people saying, I want to come down to Laguna Woods and play. I mean, as I said, we don't pay a whole bunch of money. We only charge $10 admission, so do the math. We don't have that much money, but they just love performing in front of our audience. And again, because most of the clubs are small, and we give them a big audience, they really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Even if they come down to just try out material, it's still a good experience for them.
Come down there and workshop a few things?
Yeah.
Now, when you write your stuff, do you put together a whole set, or you kind of like, I know where I want to go, you have a couple notes?
No, as I said, typically I start off with wife and marriage jokes. and then I just go to general jokes, whatever else. But yeah, and I usually stay on for like 10, 12 minutes. And I'm not, still have an act. So I do have notes in front of me because I don't trust my memory. I had the old joke, right? My memory's so bad I could plan my own surprise party, stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, as I said, I still have to write it down to look at stuff.
That's good. I like that one. So for Brian Shield, when he comes in and kind of does his stuff, does he start off with like you said, he does a little bit of improv? He goes into the audience.
He plays an instrument. He sings. He sings. He does. I mean, he's a whole act himself, as far as goes to every different facet of it. He doesn't just stand up there and tell jokes. I mean, he's very talented, as I said, and we keep bringing him back because people love him, so we just keep bringing him back, and fine with me.
Now, have you guys ever thought about doing a whole show with just folks here from the village, just comedy people who want to do stuff like that?
We have thought about it, but you have to audition a lot of people because you don't want if you give somebody 10 minutes, you don't want someone going up there and like totally bombing, or you have to watch what they say. We do have rules for the comedians.
Okay.
I mean, we tell them stay away from politics. I don't care what side of the fence you're on, just don't say that, period. No profanity.
Okay.
And no, racist and that kind of stuff. So we tell, but we have people come up that aren't that, they kind of, they go that way. So it's a little dangerous and very time consuming. And while yes, it would be great, they could bring the family and friends and everyone enjoys watching it. Right now, we thought about it, but we're going to stick to our professional comedians.
Maybe a smaller venue from like an open mic night kind of thing, maybe?
Oh, yeah, we do it if we had a much smaller venue than that, which we don't. But I mean, we're thinking of different things to do this year. Yeah. But obviously, this is our main goal. But
This is the good one. All right, well, folks, for recap real quick, January 22nd, 7 p.m., Clubhouse 5. It's a Thursday night. Brian Shields going to be there, and, of course, Phil Chate's going to be there.
Thank you. Yeah, and just
opening up the show.
next month is Fritz Coleman.
Oh, and next month's Fritz Coleman. Okay.
Next month will be
tickets on sale already for that?
No, as soon as the show is over, it will be. But and we're always the fourth Thursday of the month. Always
Okay.
the fourth Thursday. But again, yeah, and in Clubhouse 5. But yeah, Fritz is next, and then a gentleman named Brian Kiley, who was here last year, was a very funny guy, a TV writer. He's going to be the month after. So we have a good start to the
Got
year.
a good lineup already in the
Yep.
first 3 months of the year. There you go. Phil Chait from the Comedy Club. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Return. Oh, my dear, I'm so lonely. Hurry up,
We repair, we restore, we renew. We just want you back together. Mako, America's Body Shop. Compared to other body shops, Mako is 33% less and offers lifetime warranties.
I've never had to take an anger management class, but if I do have to take one someday, I hope Jack Nicholson is my guy with it. We have an anger management on Saturday. You can watch and see that one. It stars Adam Sandler and the great Jack Nicholson. It's going to be brought to us by Pacific Financial Planners at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without those subtitles. A businessman, played by Adam Sandler, who was wrongly sentenced to anger management program where he meets an aggressive instructor, and that's Jack. There you go. That's going to be our Saturday movie. Stay tuned for that one. Should be a fun one. All right, let's take a quick check of our weather forecast before we head out. And we got nice temperatures today and a little bit of a slight, I'm not going to call it a cooling trend, but a slight tapering off of the temperatures. 75 today, and then on Wednesday we get all the way to 70, and we're ticking down all along the way. We're going to have a kind of return of the marine influence. We're going to have some morning clouds, turning like mostly cloudy and partly cloudy on some of those days. Just depends on how much of a clear out we get. But there you go. Temperatures are kind of back to normal for this time of year. Monday on the program, we're going to be welcoming folks from the Democratic Club and a Music Lovers Club. And I'll be here as well. Bree's still on vacation. Come on, Bree, come back. It's 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Things killing me. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.